amigos, Starxid here, and welcome back to Tangle Tower. We spoke with Hawkshaw, and now we're gonna go into the Tangle Tower. No, that's wrong. Now we're gonna head into the greenhouse to see what is uppity.
That's a handsome beetle.
Oh, what the heck? He's like right there lurking in the shadows.
Looks like he might have magic powers.
Is that fruit? It's shaped like fruit.
Too shiny to be fruit. I think it's glowing a little too.
Safe to eat, do you think?
I'm gonna say no. Hanging baskets. They're so high up.
To you, maybe.
You're only 2 inches taller than me.
2 inches makes all the difference.
Bags of soil.
It's so blue.
Tools. Used by a gardener. For gardening.
It's glass, but I can't see through it.
Total oxymoron.
I am not. This one's in a little pot.
Okay, that is definitely not edible.
It looks like a gemstone, don't you think?
A potted fruit with hard gemstone-like skin. The soil in the pot is unusual.
A little chart of... actually, I have no idea what it's about.
Interesting.
What do you make of it?
Not a whole lot.
Sally, don't move. We're being watched.
Yeah, I see him. He's a little too big to hide in the bushes. Is anyone going to say anything? Or shall we just stand around staring at each other?
Right, sorry.
Sorry.
That's better. I'm Sally. And the guy hiding behind me is Detective Grimoire. Who are you?
Fitzfellow, the gardener.
And why are you so tall?
I don't know.
Why are you so tall? Me to my boyfriend.
You work here as the gardener.
I don't get paid to do it. It's just my area of interest.
What's the deal with the plants? They're all kinda weird.
Right. Did you see the lake?
That giant green and purple lake surrounding the entire house? Yeah, I clocked it.
The color is just a byproduct.
Of what? Poison?
It's not poisonous. Not to you.
What's this got to do with the plants?
The water controls all life, just like anywhere else on the planet. Clouds form, rain falls. The water grows the plants, animals eat the plants. Anything you've perceived as an irregularity is simply a result of this hydrological cycle.
Could you say that again, but like, condense it as you were talking to a slightly stupid person?
Our lake water causes the unpredictable alteration of DNA, sometimes.
Alteration? Like mutation?
That'd be the official term. For us, it's normal. Just nature.
And you're the local expert on all this stuff?
No, I'm just the gardener. I was in my greenhouse, watering and weeding.
Sounds exciting.
Was anyone else around?
Not at first. Penelope came in a little later. She likes looking at the flowers, I think.
Did you speak to each other?
A little, not too much. We both left the greenhouse in the early afternoon. I went up to my room. Then I came back outside to weed the main gardens. Didn't see anyone else. After that, I went up to the garden outside my room.
And?
Let me guess. Watering and weeding.
Right.
Did anything happen to you yesterday, Fitz?
I was up in the rooftop garden. It was quiet. And then, it wasn't. I can't describe it. Could have been a scream, but it didn't sound human. We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
We?
Poppy was with me. Did I not mention that? Flora's room was locked. That's normal. She usually locks it from the inside. I knocked on the door and shouted. Nobody responded. We became concerned.
You kicked the door down?
I did. Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back. Flora was there too, but I barely noticed her at first. Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too. Penelope arrived shortly after that, with Felix in tow. I thought that was odd. You don't normally see the two of them together. Felix took charge. There was nothing else I could do to help. I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything. I found her pacing back and forth around the stone square. When I approached her, she snapped at me. I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
Sorry, that's Garnet. She's trying to rub up against the door. Silly kitty. Garnet!
Fitz's room is unlocked. It's up in the fellow tower.
This could be interesting.
Wow. So bare.
Oh, wow.
What?
It's a big empty space. Huh. Neither of these lights have an actual light bulb.
They're just decorative.
Oh, so decorative. It's a little handmade card. Someone's drawn a heart on the front. Inside it says, "To Fitz, from PP." An empty glass and an empty plate.
Looking at it is making me want to cry.
Why?
I don't know. That poor plant.
Looks pretty healthy to me.
Healthy, but sad. I think it would rather be outside.
Doesn't look soft.
Hello.
Not hidden very well, is it?
Doesn't need to be. It's locked. It's a combination lock. Sort of.
Isn't it always? Music though.
There we go.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Anything in there?
Yeah, it's wrapped in a cloth. Hold on. Huh, that's kind of ominous.
Oh. Ornate trowel, a metal gardening trowel with a decorative pattern. Has a decorative pattern engraved onto it and in letters inside out. Either side apart, PPFF. Yeah.
It's locked, but it leads outside.
I thought we were halfway up a tower.
We are.
What's that thing by the handle?
It's a puzzle.
Nothing. Still,
The tiles have all got that same sun symbol.
those moon symbols in the slot.
Maybe they're connected, but also no.
Nope. It's not. But
Maybe the information we need isn't here.
so where is it?
Somewhere else.
How about like that?
Ah, didn't work.
You know, I think this might be one of a pair.
What? The whole thing?
Yeah. Something about those symbols. The duality of the sun and moon, you know?
If you say so.
Okay. I think I may know where it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and just plop these here.
Let's come back once we know what to do.
Here now. I gotta go on the other side now. Ha ha.
Are they paper lanterns?
Whatever they are, I like them. It's like a little parade of floating spirits.
I like her so much. I love Sally.
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
While it is the music room, he's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass? Who plays the violin, I wonder?
It's pretty dusty, so I'm guessing nobody.
Who plays the violin, I
So I'm guessing nobody.
There's a faded mural on the wall.
When I was a kid, I never knew the difference between a mural and a mosaic.
You still don't know, do you?
No.
One old wooden bookcase.
Yep.
25 dry old books.
Mm-hmm.
4 lit candles.
Yeah.
Am I the only one seeing the problem?
Nope. I see what you mean. It's dangerous.
Sheet music. It's handwritten.
That's a lot of notes. Looks pretty difficult.
Probably why they're on the floor. All right, you got your wish.
Spooky murder mansion?
Spooky murder mansion.
It's a globe.
For globing. That's just daylight, right?
What else would it be? Smells like a forest in here.
It's one of those big pianos with the open lids.
Don't touch it.
Why not?
Might be haunted. Are you a ghost?
Sally! That's rude! Unless she is a ghost.
It may come as a disappointment, but I am alive.
Ah,
That makes you a suspect, I'm afraid.
I know.
what's your name?
My name is Poppy. I'm a pointer. And a pianist.
We'll need to ask you a few questions about Freya.
I know.
Hey, you're pretty good.
All in the wrist. And 13 years of dedicated practice. I'm just me. There's nothing to know.
How are you related to the other pointers?
My father is Percival Pointer. The professor spends most of his time hidden away in his tower. Barely speaks to anyone these days. Especially not the fellows.
Do you get on with the fellows?
2 of them. Fifi and Freya are my closest friends. We all turned 19 last year.
Do people ever leave Tangle Tower? I don't mean to be rude. It's just, if you're 19...
You don't have to answer that, Poppy.
It's a fair question. I'd like to move away, definitely. Fifi, Freya, and I would often talk about it, argue about it. Freya wanted to leave, but Fifi, things are more complicated for her.
What about now?
After what happened, I really don't want to stay here much longer. 3.5 hours of piano practice, soon as I wake up. Same as always.
3.5. Does that not hurt your hands?
Sure.
And you do this in the music room?
No, I prefer to practice in my room. When I make mistakes, I like to make them in private.
What did you do after that?
I was supposed to meet Fifi in the library, but I totally forgot. When I finally got down there, she'd already gone. I checked her bedroom, but it was locked.
Was Fifi not in there?
No idea. She keeps her door locked either way, so I went back upstairs and out into the moonlight garden.
The what?
The little garden on the roof outside my room.
Was it just you up there?
No. Fitz came outside after a while. His room's on the other side. He's been teaching me about flowers.
So, did you talk to him?
Not really.
You ignored each other.
I didn't say that. Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds. I've been trying to decide how to describe it, but I'm struggling. It was like something drilling into a piece of metal, but different. Worse. I was pretty sure it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there to check. Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. I knew Freya and Flora were both supposed to be in there, so I made Fitz kick down the door. I went inside. Freya was lying on the floor.
Flora was in the room too?
Yeah. I think she realized what had happened at the same moment I did. I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi. Her door was still locked, but I knocked and shouted at her. Eventually, she let me in. The lights were off, but I could see she'd already been crying. I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry. First time I've ever seen her angry. I dragged her out into the hall. My father was there too, for some reason. The three of us went back up to Flora's tower. Then Felix arrived. He had Penny with him. Fifi had this idea. She wanted to do some kind of scientific test. She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes. After she was done, she went back upstairs and I went back to my room.
That's it?
That's it.
Huh.
All right. Poppy's bedroom is unlocked.
I
Excellent.
wonder what's in there.
It's an
I like her
octopus.
room.
No, it's not. It has 6 legs, not 8.
Septopus.
Don't say it.
Sextopus. Sextopus.
Sextopus.
Ooh,
It's a metronome
puzzle.
for keeping time.
It's a puzzle.
It's ticking. Is it a bomb?
It's supposed to be ticking. Not sure what those symbols are, though.
There we go.
There we go.
Yo.
Perfect. What happened?
A little hatch unlocked in the back.
Anything in there?
Mm-hmm. It's a photograph.
Look at this graph.
Part of a photograph.
Ripped photo shows a young girl with blonde hair and pink clothes. Girl in the photo is using a bright pink cassette player with matching headphones. Whereas the photo shows Fifi and Freya was hidden in Freya's room. Huh. Interesting.
There's something about that pink cassette tape. Something suspicious.
Let's ask Poppy about it.
I need to confirm something with you, Poppy.
Confirm away.
What can you tell us about this cassette tape? Is it yours?
It belongs to Freya. She liked to have music playing while she was painting, you know.
And do you know what kind of music is on this tape?
No idea. Acid jazz?
It's piano music. Sounds an awful lot like your music, to be honest.
Sure it doesn't belong to you?
Why are we even talking about this? Cassette tapes have been redundant for a good few years now.
The tape was found at the crime scene. It was in the gramophone.
It's not mine. I'd never own anything like that.
Why not?
Not my color.
You used to like these colors.
Ridiculous.
We need a clue to compare with the cassette tape. Something that proves Poppy used to like these colors.
There you go. This one.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Oh, I love this! Woo! Let's see.
The pink cassette tape found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player that was found in Poppy's room. Almost. The pink cassette
There
tape
we go.
found at the crime scene matches the pink cassette player used by Poppy in this old photo.
That is not me.
Yeah, it is. I'll prove it. You look a little different, but Fifi and Freya are pretty recognizable. It's clearly a photo of you with your two best friends. Why'd you tear it up? And then hide it?
I think the answer is pretty straightforward. Poppy hates Fifi and Freya now.
You sure about that?
Not entirely. I think the answer is pretty straightforward. Poppy doesn't want to look like that anymore.
That's it. Makes this whole thing seem kind of irrelevant.
Maybe. It depends on the reason.
The reason she doesn't want to look like that anymore?
The passage of time is a powerful thing.
Oh, jeez.
Hold on. This means that pink cassette tape does belong to you, Poppy.
It used to. I recorded some piano music onto it and gave it to Freya as a gift. Years ago.
Freya could have easily been listening to this tape at the exact moment she was killed. There's gotta be a connection between the tape, the gramophone, and the murder.
There's one other thing I want to know. How did it get that crack down the middle?
I have no idea.
Aviary. So many boards! Some boards!
What's those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh,
I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
how do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Bird diagrams. Hand-painted.
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff.
My little writing desk. It's kind of cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle. They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and going freely.
Is that a metaphor?
Oh, it totally is. Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
No judging.
A rather magnificent bush. Somewhat cruelly confined to a stone pot.
Puppy! Mocha, chill.
There's a letter P carved into the side.
For pointer.
I feel like I'm standing in a giant bird cage. I feel like I'm standing in a giant... Does this count as being outdoors?
Yeah. No. Doesn't matter.
An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Hold the phone. Good baby. Birds in cage, 3 brightly colored birds in a heavy ornate cage. Mocha!
They're bird cages, but the birds are coming and
Is
going.
that-
Oh, it totally is.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely! And that shape. You're really pushing the envelope.
Oh, thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
What do you think, Pennymon? Huh? What do you think?
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
Travel? Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family? That's interesting.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families. Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether. I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there, crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That and he has a great deal of work to do every day, watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course, and they often do, but I think they just like the company. As do I. Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. He looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room we could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
We can get into Penny's room now.
Now, like, right now?
Good baby. Alright guys, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content. Hit that notification bell to be notified of uploads. And I'll see you later, mis amigos. Stay rad.